Correspondent Matthew Thompson has this report, and just a warning, it contains descriptions of sexual exploitations and abuse, including rape.
I'd uploaded a CV on there and I'd got a message quite quickly.
When Sarah, not her real name, arrived in Britain, like so many young people, she had high hopes, dreams of a new life. One that began with what she thought was an interview for a waitressing job.
The man was there to greet me, and one of the very first things he did was ask me to hand over my passport to check that I had the right to work. I remember him taking me into another room within his flat and closing the door behind him and then locking the door, and then I was raped.
Sarah became one of a tragic majority of sex-trafficked women, 75% of whom are advertised online. Her passport confiscated, scanned and uploaded by her abuser to an adult service website. She didn't know it, but her identity had been stolen. A profile created, and she became one of many in a network of abused women forced to have sex with men across the capital.
He would say, like, this man, would like to see you. He's booked you. Okay. I'm going to rape you again, and you'll take that to that man. Things like that.
Escorting websites are fertile ground for sexual exploitation. Pimps and traffickers camouflage the abuse of their victims amongst legitimate adverts. Over the course of several months, Sky News investigated 50,000 adverts on two of the UK's biggest escorting websites, Adult Work and Viva Street. We looked for ads that showed signs of suspicious activity, as defined by the Sex Trafficking Indication Matrix. One key giveaway, according to that matrix, is the same phone number being used more than once. On Viva Street, we found 7,000 ads which had phone numbers that appeared elsewhere, more than half of the ads on the website at the time. Some of these may be legitimate duplicates, but for the most high-risk adverts we identified, the profiles had the same number with different photos, ages and locations. To take just one example, one number was used 8 times for ads for at least 5 different women. All had the same age listed, the descriptions were very similar, though names had been changed, and they all had different photos, and a geographical spread across Scotland, the East Midlands, the North East and South East of England. Another sign is the advert description. Is it clearly copied and pasted? On Adult Work, there were over 1,000 duplicated descriptions amongst adverts live on the website. These red flags are by themselves not definitive proof of illegality, but together they create an impression of an environment where abuse can thrive.
I think there are big questions for national policing to answer about why it is that this important investigation has had to be done by Sky News and why it wasn't national policing that were launching an investigation to uncover the scale of potential criminality on pimping websites.
Viva Street say there can be innocent explanations, including sex workers posting adverts in different areas. They told us many sex workers use different names and personas, and touring, moving for short periods of time to different areas to take bookings. They also said, we take safety extremely seriously and deploy industry-leading security measures to detect, report and remove potentially exploitative content. Adult Work say sexual exploitation is not tolerated on their site. They said, we have strict internal policies in place to reinforce this and make it a priority to fully cooperate and comply with all law enforcement requests. That these sites cater to legitimate sex work isn't in dispute. The question is whether, by their very design, they're open to unacceptable risks of exploitation, and whether the answer is better regulation, better policing, or banning them from existing at all. Matthew Thompson, Sky News.